This is a demo of the digital twin Fairway. Here you can see that you can select as a first step the cargo type. Here we'll select the dry bulk cargo type. It picks two locations by default, starting from the Maasvlakte, transporting it to Nijmegen. If you zoom in, you can see details of the graph that's used for navigating the ships across the river. This 1D graph is exported from the Fairway information system, and some features are added to it. For example, its locks and bridges have been inserted. If you zoom in here, you can see that extra nodes have been inserted, for example, here at the Volkerakssluizen. You can also see that if you zoom in, you can see all the details of the fairway itself, the edge names and the node names. Here you can see an example of a bridge that has been inserted into the graph so that you can either choose to sail or not to choose, or not be able to pass a bridge, or add, for example, delays for a bridge to open. And the same for locks. You can insert logic to pass a lock. So here you see the total route in purple and the total graph, which extends all the way up to Germany and Switzerland in blue. Okay, so this is the first step, selecting your locations. We also put some cargo in the starting location. Next step is to select with which type of ships you want to sail. So here we selected a big Rhine ship of 135 meters. And you can also choose other ships if you want. Here we select that we have two ships. Then we set the climate parameters. So we have two discharge parameters from the Rhine and from the Maas. If we step back, we can also see that we can change these. If you change these, then the water levels at certain key locations where the water depth is the lowest, will change. You can also change the sea level, and that's mainly interesting at the board, of course. And so if you set the climate parameters, then you can go to the next step of loading. So here you can load the cargo, and if you load the cargo, the draught will increase and the underkill clearance will decrease. You can also set safety margins, and based on this route profile and your selection before, the route profile will be determined. And here you can see your water level, that you have a slight increase sailing up to the river. You have the bridges with marked that they can open, and you see the bathymetry also with variation in a section. So this slight less opaque is the sort of the variation of the bathymetry. Then we have an animation, which I'll skip for now, which is not quite ready. And then the most relevant part are the key performance indicators. Here you see, for example, a trip split up in duration of loading, unloading time. And if you need to take multiple trips, if you put a lot of cargo, you can also see the variation of trip duration, for example, due to varying currents. Of the trips. That gives a good overview of all the information you can find in the digital twin waterway.